Hey everyone, welcome to economics. This is our first topic. We're going to be looking at the foundations of economics, and in this particular video we're going to be looking at the production possibilities curve, which is this thing here. Economists love using models. We're going to get very used to using models. Okay, before we get to the model itself, we're just going to discuss couple of core principles. So all decisions involve trade-offs. So trade-offs are what we give up when we decide to do something. So we could be studying, and if we're studying, we're giving up, gaming, for example, or giving up talking to our family, whatever. It could be anything. And this concept, crucial for the course. We're going to be talking about most of the course. Opportunity cost. That is the best alternative that we forego when we make a decision. Okay, the production possibilities curve. This is a model that shows alternative ways that an economy can use its scarce resources. So scarce meaning there's not enough, right? So what we can show on this model is scarcity, we can show trade-offs, we can show opportunity cost, and we can show efficiency. So we are going to do that. Here is a table of the production possibilities of this fake economy. We're going to assume that this economy can only make two things. Now, in economics, we make a lot of assumptions. So we keep it relatively simple as we start things, because then we've got to add a bit of complexity later, which will make it more to do with real life. But for now, we've got this economy, COTS, iPhones, that's all they make. So if they operate at point A, if they put all of their resources into COTS, they can make 38 COTS, but 0 iPhones, because all of their resources are going to COTS. If they want to make iPhones, they can make iPhones, but they have to give up COTS, right? So their opportunity cost of making 2 iPhones, what they forego is making 6 COTS. So that's their opportunity cost, right? And we see these figures just continue. As they make more iPhones, they make fewer COTS, right? What we're going to do now is we're going to graph this. So I'm going to put COTS on the y-axis and iPhones on the x-axis. And just a reminder, y-axis is the one that goes straight up, x-axis is horizontal. Okay, so pause and have a go at that. Okay, here's what I should come up with. We're plotting the points here. So like I said, all resources put into COTS, we can make 38 and 0 iPhones. All resources into iPhones, we can make 14, 0 COTS. So we can just draw a line through these. And this is our production possibilities curve. We can make any combination of COTS and iPhones along this curve. Okay, weird transition. How does it show scarcity? Well, we don't have enough resources to make everything that we might want. We might want, what's that, like 25 COTS and 13 iPhones? That might be what we want as a society, but we don't have enough resources to make them. It's not within our production possibilities, right? So that's an impossible or unattainable level out there. And inside, it means we're not using our resources to their full efficiency. So we might have people unemployed in an economy. So if they're not working and producing things, then our economy is not working at its full potential, is it? And therefore, anything on the curve, any of these combinations on it, must be efficient. They're using resources to their full potential and producing to our full possibilities of production. Okay, I've got another one here. We don't need to map this one out, but here we're making omelets and quiches, right? They're very similar products, aren't they? So an omelet and a quiche, they use almost the same ingredients, the same skills. You got the same person able to make both. They both use, well, one's like an oven, one's a cooktop, but they come together. They're the same resources. So what we get is this idea of constant opportunity cost. So every time we want to make a quiche, what it means is we give up the opportunity of making 2 omelets, right? So here we've got making 3 quiches, so we give up 6 omelets, right? And it's always 3 and 6. So essentially 1 quiche equals 2 omelets. So it's constant opportunity cost. So get this one down. Constant opportunity cost occurs when the resources are easily adaptable for producing either good. That's going to make our production possibilities curve just look a little bit different. It's going to be a straight line. If you plotted these points out to scale, you would see a perfect straight line. Now that's not common, so generally we're not going to use that, but we do need to be aware of it for the course. Okay, another example here. Again, we don't need to plot this one out. Omelets and toy cars. These obviously use different resources. So what we get is increasing opportunity cost. Because when the resource is not equally suited to the production of both goods, then what we're going to do when we start making our first toy car, we're going to use the resources that are best for making toy cars, which are not particularly useful for making omelets. So we can make a toy car with only giving out 1 omelet, right? Because the toy car resources don't make good omelets. But then when we try to make our last toy car, we're starting to use all the resources that are actually not that well suited to making toy cars, but really well suited to making omelets. So we have to give up 10 omelets to make that last car. So the opportunity cost increases from 1 to 3 to 6 to 10. So we get that bowed out or concave PPC, which we started with. So I want you to have a quick look here, identify which product would have a straight line PPC. So pause and have a go, answer it in your head. Okay, I'm sure you all said that peaches and apricots would have a straight line, right? They use the same resources. They use the grown in a similar climate, similar soil, similar farming needs. So you use like the same nets and whatnot. I know this is true because my grandfather grew both peaches and apricots on his commercial farm in the Barossa Valley when I was a little kid. So definitely use the same resources. That's why if you give up making some peaches, you can just make apricots instead and the opportunity cost will stay constant. Whereas these two toys, Big Ted from Play School and Tom's Tank Engine, they use very different resources, don't they? So it's going to be bowed out. It's going to get increasing opportunity cost. If we want to make more tank engines, we're going to give up making some Big Teds. And as we make more and more tank engines, we're going to have to give up more and more Big Teds to be able to do that. All right, so opportunity cost stays constant. Here it increases. So they looked at it the other way here in the diagram, but small opportunity cost, bigger, bigger again, biggest. Okay, production possibilities codes and efficiency. We're going to look at a second type of efficiency. So, don't know what that blue dot's doing there. Productive efficiency. This is what a non-economist would think of when they think of efficiency. Goods being produced in the least costly way, maybe quickly, using the fewest possible resources. Right. So I think we've got our heads around that one. What's different here in economics is allocative efficiency. You probably haven't heard that term before. Most haven't. Allocative efficiency is when production is what is most desired by society, both in terms of what is made and how much of it is made. So we will have a look at a silly example just a sec, but we'll go through all this in the video we'll be going through in class in a bit of depth. So is combination A efficient? Here we've got this made up economy. Remember, we're assuming we've got denim underwear on the y-axis, jeans on the x-axis. Firstly, it's a straight line because they use the same resources, right? They've got a factory where they can sew, they use the same material, denim. So that's why we've got the straight line for one thing. But is it efficient? So have a think, pause for a sec. Okay, we're back. And the answer is yes and no, right? So it's productively efficient because we're producing as much as we possibly can. We're operating on the PPC, right? So productively efficient, but it's not allocatively efficient. This isn't what is most desired by society. No one wears denim underwear. I think I just made it up for the sake of this example. So this would be a ridiculous combination for an economy to produce. So therefore, it is not allocatively efficient. It's not what the people want. Okay, shifting the production possibilities curves. Now, we shift around our curves a lot in economics because economies change. They're dynamic. That's a good thing. So we're going to show what shifts our production possibilities, what allows us to make more or less of the goods. Two things: change in resource quantity, how many resources we have, and change in resource quality. Okay, let's look at how that works. Okay, toy cars and omelettes we're going with. Now, what happens if there's an increase in population? So I've got different font sizes here. Don't know what's going on there. Increase in population. That's a resource. People are a resource. So we can produce more than we possibly could before. If we put all our resources towards toy cars, we can make more. All our resources towards omelettes, we can make more. So the whole curve will shift outwards, like so. Right. Next, toy cars and omelettes again. What if there's a technological improvement in egg beating? So we've got that electric egg beater rather than people doing it by hand. So if we have this tech improvement and we put all our resources towards toy cars, can we make any more toy cars? No, there's no egg beating involved in making toy cars. So that doesn't change. Can we make more omelettes? Yes, we can. So it shifts out just on one axis. So we can show it like this. Okay, so we're going to practice a lot of this in class. If you haven't understood everything, that's fine, it's to be expected. The key idea of this is to help get all your notes down, so you've got things to refer to in class, but plenty of time to go over and over this stuff to make sure we have it deep in our long-term memory. Okay, excellent. I will see you in class.